And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. And it's coming up next.
All right, no table is safe outside of Highmark Stadium because this crowd is loud and this crowd is ready for a ball game. We're just outside of Buffalo in Orchard Park, New York. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scott, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard. And we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football. Not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as a default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
Justin Tucker has this all teed up. And we're off and running from Western New York. Ty Johnson now to return. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And he's all the way up across the 40 before heading out of bounds. So here come the Bills for their opening drive. And leading them out, someone who's still the pride of Wyoming University and Fireball, California. One of the league's best and biggest arms, Josh Allen.
We've seen a lot of big arms come and go in the NFL. Few translate that talent, though, into stardom, quite like Josh Allen. It's fun for me on the college football road when I ask these young quarterbacks who they idolize, who they look up to. And just about every big guy that can run says the same thing, Josh Allen, because that skill set is so tantalizing. A player who can rip off a highlight reel play with the pass, and just as easy with the down in just about any situation.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. They kick the running back in motion. Here's 2nd and 5. This is complete to Dawson Knox. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. They get an even 10 on that play. And that's good for a Bills first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Shotgun handoff now to Cook. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Allen. Finds him over the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They got 24 yards on the play. And that's good for a Bills first down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
All right, I'll set up now. 1st and 10. Play action now. Allen. That finds his man. It's Keon Coleman. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. On 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
They send Samuel Wright. Working from the gun, it's Allen. Throws into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted! Marcus Williams has it. And the Ravens take over after forcing the first turnover of this ball game. Well, Brock, they get an early opportunity here inside the red zone, but nothing comes of it after that interception.
Yeah, no question, Kate. You expect that this won't be the last chance or the last time they get in the red zone. This will, or at least should, be the last chance that it ends in a pick. They're going to take that Microsoft Surface tablet. Everybody is. They're going to pull that play up, and most importantly, they're going to try to identify what happened so it doesn't happen again.
So here now are the Ravens on offense to begin their first drive. And they're brought out by someone who is the modern example of an elite running quarterback, the multiple-time MVP, Lamar Jackson.
A decade plus before Lamar, it was a guy named Michael Vick who was the standard for dual-threat quarterbacks. Well, today, that standard is Lamar Jackson, who at his best is an MVP-caliber player, the most exciting player, not just in his position, but in all of football. And don't let that running overshadow the strides he's made as a passer, too, in the pocket and as a franchise quarterback to build upon. I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
First down, here's Lamar. Finding Flowers. And he takes it past midfield and starts the drive into Bills territory.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. They've got a man in motion. Lamar off the play fake. Flushed out of the pocket. He's keeping it. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Putting a receiver in motion. Here's Derrick Henry getting it on the ground. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Tackle made by Cole Bishop. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
You know, that's a good run right there. Keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
This is Henry on second. He'll work it a couple of yards past the line. Christian Benford up to make that stop. Give him 2 on the run. That's going to set him up with 3rd and 4.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
This finds Likely. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down. All right, still scoreless through 1 quarter, but that looks like it's going to change pretty soon. Couple of zeros on the board right now. We'll return to Highmark Stadium in just a moment. Welcome back. 2nd quarter about to start. Ravens with a chance for at least 3, maybe 6. Taken in by Likely. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, just find a way to get him the ball.
Shotgun snap to Jackson. Has it down close. And in for the Baltimore touchdown. So a touchdown on the board for them, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. But they couldn't take away that big old tight end.
Justin Tucker to try the point after. And he sends the point after right through the uprights. And they add one on to their first touchdown of the contest. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. Johnson with a return here. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Here comes the Bills offense for their 2nd drive of the game. Still in search of their first points as we work our way through the middle of this game. The score 7-0. Straight ahead, here's Cook. And they're going to stop him after he wiggles his way forward for 2. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Again, it's Cook. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Just 1 yard on the play, though. That leaves him with 3rd down and 6 to go.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Allen on 3rd down. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Operating from the gun, it's Allen. Complete to Coleman. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. It's a gain of 12 there. And that's good for a Bills 1st down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Now the shotgun give to Cook. Works his way to the 35. And he has this all the way down to the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 29 yards. And that's good for a Bills 1st down.
Those unsung heroes, those big guys up front on the O-line, let's give them a little love right here, okay? They don't always get the attention they deserve on a broadcast, but let me tell you, they played a huge role in that big old run.
Johnson gets it on 1st and 10. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss. It's the 2-minute warning now from Highmark. The Bills looking for a score before halftime. Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Putting the tight end in motion. 2nd and 15. He's got this complete to James Cook. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
They motion the slot man right. Throw on 3rd down. He's on the move. Oh, he's good. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. The Bills earn the chance to tie it before halftime. Josh Allen, the touchdown. Wow, great work there by the quarterback. The play broke down. Didn't really have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, Brock, the best call he could have made.
Yeah, and you can do it in different ways in today's NFL, right? The Tom Brady's just recently retired. He did it with his brain. He did it with his mind, but you've got to be able to improvise, as you said. You got to be able to create when a play breaks down. And when you can put 6 on the board, man, does that infuse your offensive group with confidence.
That one right down the middle. And the Bills tie this game 7-7. Pass now to kick this away. Deontay Hardy to return. He's got a lane up past the 30. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. The Ravens and Lamar Jackson are ready to go again on offense. They're getting close to a minute to play, Brock, and they're going to need that time with a long field ahead. They send Aguilar in motion left. Throwing now on 1st down, it's Jackson. Bateman hauls it in. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. From the 43. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
Now Jackson on 3rd down. Connects with Bateman. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. Timeout taken by the offense, their 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Jackson yet again. Caught by Flowers. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Terrell Bernard tracking that one down.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Clock's still running as the Ravens try hurrying everyone up. Again, it's Jackson to the air. Finds the in route complete. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. Timeout taken by the Ravens. That is their final one. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Lamar throwing again. Gets this to Bateman. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's good for a Ravens 1st down.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
That brings us to halftime, and these teams locked up on the scoreboard. It's a 7-7 ball game. Now we'll send you south to Orlando for a check-in around the league via Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, what you got for us?
All right, Kate, sit tight. We'll get back to you and Brock in just a moment. But for now, this is our halftime report.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our 3rd quarter. On the return, here comes Justice Hill. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Here comes the Baltimore offense to begin quarter number 3. And this is an important drive to get momentum back after that touchdown tied things up. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's got Andrews. And he reaches the 35 before going out.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Lamar now from the gun. Aguilar with the grab. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Play action. Here's Jackson. Wow, wide open here. Complete. And he's out of bounds after reaching the 25-yard line. Wow, they get a big old 32 yards out of that play, as well as a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Sets him up nice and pretty at the 25 following that big play. They go play fake with Jackson. Catch is made in close. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Now after making that catch, we see he's shaken up. Trainer's heading out to take a look. They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Henry will not get past the line. He's held up at the 4.
Situational football. Looking at 1st and goal, these defenses know what's coming at them. More often than not, a run play. It really is better to throw the ball unless you've got a way to disguise the run, and there was no disguising on that one.
Backed up to the 4-yard line now. It's 2nd and goal. Once more, here's Henry. And he pushed for it, but they managed to stop him at the 2. Just a couple on that play. It's going to be 3rd and goal.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive, try to stick them with the loss, and make a difficult 4th down decision.
Trying to run with Henry. And he gets in. Touchdown! The Ravens take the lead right away in half number 2. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score. Don't let it go to 4th and goal. And he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
Now, how about the other side? Beating the defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop him on 3rd and goal.
Tucker on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Ravens break that tie and now lead by 7. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. Johnson now on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now we've got the Bills offense headed back to the field. It's a touchdown ball game right now, Brock. 14-7 as they start this possession. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Allen on the play action. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Man in motion here. Allen now on 1st down. Curtis Samuel's there for the catch. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Has him on the quick hitter. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Cook trying this one up the gut. He'll cobble together a yard there, giving that tackle to Kyle Van Noy. Call it no gain, maybe one at best on that play. That leaves him with 3rd and 2. Another one for Cook. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26. He gets 6 on that play. And that's good for a Bills first down.
I don't know what it is, Kate, but I love 3rd down runs. I really do. I know the receivers don't always like it because money down and they want the ball, but a 3rd down run for a first down can be so demoralizing to that defense.
Now Allen off the play action. That's complete to Valdez-Scantling. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
From the 18 on 2nd down. This is reeled in by Valdez-Scantling. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. So we hit the end of the 3rd quarter. It's Bills football. They trail late, but this game's still very much in reach. And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. Now run by Cook. And he won't win the race to the outside. That run's bottled up at the line. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just times you got to run in the darkness. And when linebackers fill that hole like that right in the middle of the field, he ran right into the darkness and the pain of that linebacker.
Tight end going in motion here. Working from the gun, it's Allen. This one's caught. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line. Third and 4 coming up now. Operating from the gun, it's Allen. That one's incomplete in the end zone. Took his shot at 6 that time. And 4th and 4 coming up.
Well, you got to have a short memory in the NFL. Incompletions happen. Now you got to make the adjustment and go get the next one.
3rd down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th. They send Samuel Wright. Desperation time here on 4th. And he scores. It's a Buffalo touchdown. The Bills now trail by just a point in the 4th. So they punch it in for 6, Brock, and now a conversion away from tying this game back up.
This one just has the feel, doesn't it? The makings of a one-score game in the 4th quarter.
PAT and a make would tie us up late. The kick is good, so this game now hinging on every possession as we're tied up in the 4th. Pass now to kick this away. Hardy on the return. This return makes it up to the 25. Now Baltimore returning its offense to the field of play. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3-and-out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
Drive starts with an option, right side. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you run it on first down. You just want some yards to set up an easier second down play. But they will take that execution every time.
A jolt to start that drive. They're up near the 45-yard line. Oh, look at this. Quick touch pass to the receiver. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
Well, I know this. This staff loves the athleticism and versatility he brings to the offense. That's not only as a receiver, but as someone who can take occasional carries and turn them into good yards.
Handoff headed right to Henry. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. Give him 3 on that game. And that'll be first down, Baltimore.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that first down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
Throwing now on first down, it's Jackson. Short pass brought in. And they get there to take him down right around the 41.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
We've hit the 2-minute warning here in Buffalo. Ravens pushing to get within range for a game winner. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Out of the gun, here's Jackson. He's going to try to drop it in deep. He's got it deep downfield. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play, and that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
They're all set up for the game winner. Let's see how they approach it, starting with this 1st and goal. Henry has the Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens jump in front late. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. So how about the determination there? This game has been as hard fought as you will see. But they grab hold of the lead here with a late touchdown that may just win them the ball game.
You could almost feel them saying, Kate, we don't want overtime. Let's go out and get it done now. They accomplished their goal, but you do have to ask the question, do they leave too much time on the clock? Stay tuned.
That's up and through for the point after. And the Ravens break that tie and now lead by 7. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. Johnson with a return here. Oh, he's showing some burst on this return. And he manages the 35 before they can stop him. Possession switching back to Buffalo as their offense heads out. Still time to go, Brock, but that touchdown has them down now 7. They've got to find the end zone here. Cook calls it in. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he's stopped.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates now as a receiver in the open field.
Bills moving quickly now. They're in the hurry up. Here he is to throw. He'll get this to Samuel. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. The Bills are going to go ahead and call their first timeout. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Two timeouts remaining and some time left to use them. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw it. Finds a seam down the middle. Has room into the secondary. And he gets him the touchdown. And now a potential game-deciding play call coming up. So they get the all-important touchdown here late in the game, Brock. Now the question, play for the tie or go for 2 and the lead?
And I know they've got all these charts and numbers and analytics to tell you what to do, but this comes down to the gut and the trust of the head coach. Does he trust his offense more to go get this 2-point conversion, or is he going to lean in his defense and believe that they can get the stop?
On for the PAT, and a make would tie us up late. And everyone can breathe easier now. His try is good, and they found a way to tie it late in the 4th. Pass now to kick this away. Hardy on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Ravens ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. Gets this one to Andrews. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. Clock's still running as the Ravens try hurrying everyone up. Setting up to pass. Bateman hauls it in. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. That's going to do it for regulation, so some bonus football in store for all those fans in the stands. We're headed for overtime. Gotta block that missed kick from their minds and refocus. Still a win to be had as overtime has begun. Hardy on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Ravens trotting out their offense. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. The drive begins with Henry. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Now Jackson. Finds Aguilar. Nowhere really for him to go. He steps out, and they're going to lose some yardage.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
One of the tight ends motioning right. Jackson now on third. He has the first over the middle. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
1st and 10 from the 41. Here's Henry on the option. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Another run for Henry. And they'll bring him down after a small gain to the 48. 2 yards on the pickup, and that leaves him with 3rd down and 3. Running once more with Henry. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Call it 1 yard there. Tough sledding the last couple of runs. It's 4th and 2. The Ravens gonna punt this away, and here's Jordan Stout to handle that boot. The punt's away, and this one looking good. Angled this one for the sideline. The Bills and quarterback Josh Allen ready to get back to work now on offense. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this. Couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards, too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. All right, excellent field position for the Bills as they set up 1st and 10. Now he gets a shot here in overtime. Completed over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. The rookie from Clemson in on that stop.
That can be a hopeless feeling when you fire a curl route right into zone coverage perfectly like that. Unless that curl happens to be right next to where one of your guys is sitting, that pass can hum in there and there's nothing this defense can do.
From the 43. Finds him over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Look up contested catch in the football dictionary and you'll see that. I mean, I can't critique the defense there. They're in the hip pocket of that tight end. But these contested catches, these tight ends that can separate with their hands, utilize their body, even when you're covered, you're not.
And they send a man in motion. 1st down throw for Allen. And the 1st down pass sent away by a defender, incomplete. That one firmly denied by the man in coverage. So that brings up 2nd down.
You know, I don't fault that look at all, Kate, downfield. It was just an excellent defensive play to deny him the ball and knock it away. That is good on good.
Now a give to Cook, running left. And they'll bring him down after a pretty short gain. Only 2 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8. Now to throw. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. So that brings up 4th and long.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And they're facing a long field ahead of them as that kick skips out near the 11. We see the Ravens making their way out now. Each offense has had a chance to score now, Brock. Neither one could, so we're in a sudden death. The next score wins it.
And wouldn't it be great, Kate, if we saw one of these defenses just take a turnover back for the winning touchdown? Really just surprise everybody here. It'll be a little tougher to do now, though. Both offenses a little more settled in, and you've got to imagine a little more sense of urgency. I'll tell you this, you don't want to make a living throwing into double coverage, but double coverage and still finding a way to beat the defense and haul it in. That's not a situation many players win, and there aren't a lot of quarterbacks willing to make that throw and trust their receiver to get it done.
Second and 6 coming up here. Lamar off to play fake. Finding Flowers. Pick up a few as he heads out of bounds.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. To throw. Escapes the pocket. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Even from the booth, Kate, I could hear it. I could hear that front 7 telling the guys on the back end, hey, all I need is a couple seconds of lockdown from you guys, and I'm going to get to this QB. You promise, you deliver, and that's exactly what they did, wasted no time in getting that sack.
Baltimore lined up in punt formation. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. Fields this at the 42. And he's going to get a modest amount on that return before he ends up out of bounds. Big kick on that one, 62 yards. And the Bills will take over possession. Motioning the tight end now. Allen now on 1st down. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it 2nd down. Allen on the play action. Catch is made down the right sideline. That play good for 17 on a 1st down.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about 2 things, separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks, that's the trust, and then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
The defense takes its 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be unable to stop the clock again here in overtime. Big moment for Tyler Bass here. From the right hash, 52 yards out. It has the distance, and it's on target. It's good! And they've taken back the lead.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
So the roar of Bills Mafia, it's a win for their guys in Buffalo. And they only needed a field goal to end it, as their guy connected on an absolute bomb through all the pressure to claim a heck of a win here in overtime. So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. It's a win for the Bills as we say so long from Buffalo.